We came into this game with the thought that it was we're going against a terrific team, playing really well, at home, on a roll. It's going to be championship atmosphere, and the Thursday night and all of that. And I made it a point to our guys that this is a great opportunity for us to go into and handle it and go out there and battle and give ourselves a chance to win a game. And I was so fired about the way we played in general. To fight against these guys like that the whole night long and to have a chance to tie the game up, and then what would happen next, I don't know. I think we would win. And there's a lot of in-between things to talk about, but the way that they competed was just what we're hoping for. It was just what we're looking for. And could we not clip a guy? Could we not hold a guy? Yeah. Could we not pick a guy? Yeah. There's so many things we can get better at, but the fight is in this dog now. Ain't no doubt about it. And I couldn't wait to tell them how proud I was of the way they competed. And so we all know in this room we're gonna do something. And so it's just a matter of time. See what happens.
Pete, just my first question is, how's Geno feeling? And kind of like, were there any thoughts? Because when he came back in the game, he was still limping, like he was in pain. Was there?
He wanted to go back in a worse way. He wanted to finish the game for his teammates, and he got whacked in the quad. He got a quad bruise or something, contusion, whatever it is. He got smacked, and that's just him fighting. And yeah, go back out. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows, And it's not because it can't. It had nothing to do with that. It's just about just competing and battling. He had a couple plays, and then he would not have been able to answer the next time out. He wasn't going back, but he tried.
Is there any concern that this injury can prolong into going into Monday night? Are you?
I don't know that. No, I don't know. It's a thigh bruise, So it's not, like some other injuries. This is not one that you can't get back from.
Any update on JPJ or Dylan?
Yeah, he hurt his ankle, legit, and I don't know that all of the. I don't want to go into any of the details of it, but he hurt his ankle. He'll be out for a while.
Dylan?
He had a high ankle sprain that he tried to come back with it and couldn't quite get back. He actually could kind of move, but he really couldn't push off. So that's kind of how the high ankle works. But again, he too tried to go back in the game, wanted to play too. So exactly the right mentality.
You talked yesterday about the things you guys had to do or couldn't do to win this football game, like clean special teams, not turn the ball over, make mistakes. But you did that again, unfortunately. What do you think it's going to take to learn that harsh lesson? That's
yeah, we put together some pretty good weeks, and so we do know the other side of it. Tonight it was really a problem. The penalties that happened, at the wrong times, took all kinds of field away from us. You miss a kick, that's hard. It's a couple weeks in a row, and I don't know anything what happened on the block, but what the pump block did is give the defense a chance to go out there and do a sudden change situation and show you who they are. And sometimes it's got to get really hard, before you can find yourself. And I had any doubt those guys did. I thought it was amazing response to it.
I know there's no silver linings in a loss, but can you talk about that defense? I don't think you can not talk about that.
God, it was a great night of D. Really, it was. The third downs, I think we beat them up the third down pretty good. To answer the call and to take advantage of the field position opportunities and the mentality that demonstrated really from the coaches, and Patrick did a great job tonight with the guys and keeping them on track with the plan and all of that, but also by the really obvious situations that we faced. It wasn't like the ball's in the 35 all night long. And to answer that way, so much heart and so much toughness and so much grit about him, from Max on throughout. It wasn't just one guy, it was everybody. And we played a lot of guys tonight, got them in and out of there. Playing in this altitude had no factor, none of that. We played through all of that. I was just so proud, to be in the room with them, and it's just unfortunate because I love them so much that I just wanted to have wins and the fun and have a great locker room and a great ride home and a few days off and all that. We didn't get that.
Pete,
some mistakes from the rookies today, Besh and Dante with a holding and a drop by Dante, drop by Gentile. These growing pains that'll make them better down the road.
Yeah, this isn't going to be forever. This is what it is right now, and it's probably the first time Dante had a shot at that route where he really had a chance where he had to avoid the pick, and he didn't get that done. We practiced it and all that, and it always kind of it works out better than that guy ran right into him, and that caused the pick. Takes away the touchdown. But guys that have been around, that wouldn't happen too likely. They know how to avoid it because they know that what's coming. They're going to get called, and so those things will go. We'll overcome that. If they don't, then they're not getting better. They won't be here. But they'll improve on those kinds of things.
Pete, Brock Bowers only had one catch. Were you surprised at the lack of involvement he had tonight in the passing game?
We were trying. We were trying all day long. The calls were going that way, and the ball just didn't get there. We weren't, we didn't try to, disguise it and not go to them. We had calls one after another, and they did a nice job of getting guys on them.
Is there any concern with Daniel Carlson? It's been 2 weeks where
He's got to kick better. Yeah, he's got to kick better. I know it kills him too. He wants to make every one of those, and he's got to kick better for us.
Coach, the first time that Geno rolled out, that was the play that he got hurt on. But after being sacked 5 times, was something about the not doing the rollout early in the game? You thought that Denver's linebackers were just fast to the outside?
They're really good on the edge, and they stay up. And there was a couple other times too in there, that we didn't get it. We were looking. We had to do something to get away from the running game, and that's a compliment to it. He did all he could with it.
I know you guys have dealt with injuries throughout this season, but this is the 4th time you guys have been held to under 10 points in the game. What is your concern level with the offense?
What is my concern level? That we're not scoring enough points. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you guys. That's about as obvious as you can get. But you got to do right. We had a great touchdown play. Walking the end zone with Trey in the first half, and to be up 14-0 on those guys and playing defense like we're playing, that would have been a margin. They never did get to 14, so might have been enough to win a game. And so, there's a lot of factors here, and we got to run the ball better against a really hard group tonight. We got to protect better. They're way out above everybody else rushing the passer, and they were able to do it again. We couldn't neutralize it, and the running game would have helped us in that regard. But Chip was trying. He was staying with the running game to try to not let them tee off on us, and so we got to score more, right?
Yeah, was there a distinct game plan without Surtain being here to try to take some long shots?
We had a plan. We had to protect to get it done, though, and it was hard. Yeah, it was really hard. All right, thanks, guys.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Geno, just how are you feeling with the die?
Obviously, I just played a game, so I'm not feeling the best, but I'll be better as the days go along, hopefully.
And why was it, Pete Carroll said you personally wanted to go back into the game. Why was that so important to finish it out?
I mean, that's just kind of how I'm wired. I never want to leave my teammates out there alone. I feel like it's a big responsibility of mine to be out there and to do whatever I can to help us win. So, I felt like I could try to tough it out, and that's what I tried to do.
How difficult physically were those last couple drives to just get through?
Mentally, I just try to block out the pain and just, focus on executing the plays. It's obviously, in a lot of pain, but I think, just with the guys out there and just being out there, having the adrenaline going, and obviously, just wanting to win more than anything. The pain is the pain. It's going to be there regardless, but I wanted to win this game.
What was it? Was it on that when you scrambled out? Was that when you got hurt, or when did you hurt the quad?
When the guy fell on my leg.
Geno, you're already going against a voracious defense, and you lose your 2 starting guards. How difficult is that? And you talk about the play of your line and just making up for that.
Yeah, I thought, we're going against a tough defense. Of course, every defense in the NFL is going to be tough. And, we got the next man up mentality around here. I thought Will Putman stepped in and played a tremendous game. For him to get, some of his first action in a long time, I thought he did what he needed to do to allow us to move the ball. Obviously, we know what Cap can do. He stepped in there and he did his job. And, we're down Colton Miller as well. There's some guys that aren't in there, but those guys stepped in and they did what they had to do. We fought to the end. had a shot at the end, and we just didn't get it done.
Chip had a tremendous game plan. You guys came out, you were moving the ball, a couple rookie mistakes, killed a couple of drives. Talk about rookies just being rookies.
Yeah, everybody's learning. Rookies, veterans, mistakes happen in the game, but in order to be a good team, you got to play clean. And I keep saying it every week. You got to play a clean game, and you can't have missed assignments. You can't have penalties. You can't have You have penalties negating big plays. Can't have turnovers. Those are the things that hurt teams. And when the Raiders stop beating the Raiders, we'll go out there and we can beat anybody in this league, but we got to stop beating ourselves first. And it seems like that's been a reoccurring thing every single week. And I know it's not for a lack of effort. I know it's not for a lack of, guys wanting to do well. I think guys are just, learning as we go.
Did you talk to your guys, Ashton and Dante after the drop, Ashton after he bobbled the pass? So what'd you think of those two plays?
It's football, man. Like I say all the time, it's football. Nobody's perfect. Things are going to happen, and we got to continue to push forward. I thought our defense played a tremendous game. Even after that turnover, they went out there and they held them to 3 points, right? They gave us a chance at the end. And, with Dante, like I said, he's a young player, very talented player. He's still developing. And all of these moments, all these situations, we're all going to learn from them. We're all going to get better from them. So never too hard on the guys. I want them to just continue to, have that confidence in themselves because we're going to need them.
Geno, just this obviously has not been the season you or anyone in that locker room expected. Just how are you internalizing just like how things been going so far?
The way I see life, man, like I always say this, man, God will never put anything on me that I can't handle. And I believe that, again, this team, man, like it's usually darkest before dawn. We're gonna rise, man. We're gonna rise. It hurts. It sucks. I give my all to this game, everything that I can do to win. Trying to figure it out, but we'll figure it out.
On the shots to Lockett, were those primary reads or were those progressions you ended up working your way to?
Some of them were, and then some of them were just, him having a feel for the game and knowing where to get into the right spots. I thought Lockett played a tremendous game for only being here, about a week and a half. I thought he did a great job, and as he continues to learn the offense, I think he's going to, really help us out down the line.
I think Brock only had one catch. Was it something Denver was doing defensively that kind of like took you away from your coach, your primary guy?
Yeah, there's heavy emphasis on Brock. Obviously, when you go out there last week and have 3 touchdowns and have the performance he had, guys are going to see that on film and do whatever they can to stop him. But we still got to find ways to get him the ball. We got to move him around and just put him in position where he can just go one-on-one. But teams are going to double him. They had a plan for him, and other guys had an opportunity to step up, and that's what they did.
Beautiful ball out there to Thornton. What did you guys talk about when you got back to the sidelines after that one slipped through his hands?
I just told him, I'm going to need you to be ready on the next one. That's really it. Just be ready on the next one. Try to give him confidence. I know he was over there, probably thinking about it, but, I just try to get him out of his head and be like, hey, man, we need you to focus on the next play. Like I said, nobody's perfect. There's going to be situations where, he's going to make that catch down the line, and we're all going to be excited about it. So, like I said, he's a great player. He's going to be a great player. He's just developing. He's a young rookie, and there's a lot going on out there. But, he's going to make those plays down the line.
All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Geno.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Geno.